Hey, how's it going? It's Devin, Devin's Card House. Happy Into the Inklands Day. Very exciting, right? We got a bunch of news coming out. I was thinking this is the third release and everyone was going to be chill about it. No one was going to be freaking out over Lorcana this time. It was going to have a chill release, and I feel like maybe a few other people are feeling like me, once the day actually got here and you're seeing everybody post all these pictures on Facebook. Maybe other people feel like me and they're like, oh my God, I got to get some of this product. I think from what I was hearing around, people are cracking a lot of enchanteds, a lot of products coming out to stores. The hunt is usually on today. Usually the Wednesday, Thursday before the set actually comes out is when I start looking into retailers. So if you're near a retailer or a Target, Walmart, you might want to start looking for the product today. I've had some luck on Thursdays as well if you want to get out there and get it. I've heard also that there's plenty of stock coming into stores, so I don't think we're going to have that huge run out like we usually do for the other products. And, Rise of the Floodborn, that product, there was enough that hit the market, and we've been sitting around 120 for a while. So I think Into the Inklands is probably going to follow that in that regard. But looking at these Facebook posts, it's got me excited. Lots of people pulling some good stuff already. So I wanted to take a look at the Enchanteds today, just from past sets. Look at the Enchanteds from Into the Inklands and kind of think about what are going to be the top hits and what to expect from them. I think with these guys, since there's more of them, and we don't really know the pull rates on everything here, like how many. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we've moved from 1 in 96 packs to Kraken Enchanted, maybe a little bit less, and maybe we're going to be getting one per case. And with there's 18 instead of the usual 12 that we've been getting so far. That means that the variance is going to be a little bit higher. So I think you're going to have some Enchanteds that drop a little bit below than what they usually do, and then some Enchanteds that really hit the top here. So I just want to take a look at the first chapter Enchanted here real quick. As you can see where the prices are, like I said, once that second wave hit, these prices dropped. A lot of these guys got below 100. Elsa got down to around 200, but right now, as of yesterday, is when I took this. She's sitting at $739, which is pretty cool. And then Hades is there at the bottom at 120. So these have come back up pretty well, and I want to compare that to the Rise of the Floodborn. But if you take a closer look at kind of the action of how Elsa played, she came in and that price, went up to close to 850, came back down, and then around 300, and then is now back up to 730. If there's another reprint, hopefully that comes back down. But then so I wanted to take a look at the top card and the bottom card, and then here Hades had like a better start, got up to the 200s, and then has dropped back down below 100. It hit close to like 75, and is now, it seems like it's kind of plateaued a little bit here at the 120s. Could we see it rise? It all really depends on if we don't see another reprint of the first chapter. I've heard a lot of people in my comments, a lot of people, I feel like they're hoping there isn't another reprint, which is odd to me. And I didn't really explain this before. Like I've been in Lorcana since the beginning, but I'm a seller. So when the prices spiked, I sold on my product, and then I'm looking to get back in once the prices have gone down. It's that whole buy low, sell high, or is it buy high, sell low? I can't really remember. It's one of those, but so I'm looking to get back in the first chapter when it's low. But right now, like I said and before, I'm thinking we're gonna get a reprint. It's gonna come back down. A lot of people don't feel that way. A lot of people said that there's just not enough room with all the releases they're gonna have. That there won't be enough room for them to print, but there seemed to be enough room to reprint the product when they reprinted all the product for Rise of the Floodborn. So it would make me think that there's enough room for them to figure that out eventually. Looking at Rise of the Floodborn Enchanted, so you can see Cinderella is back up to the 260s, and Snow White's up doing pretty good too. Same with Alice, and then we have Pete there at the bottom. So looking at Cinderella, you can see that bounce. It's similar to Elsa having that, but I think people were more when Rise of the Floodborn came out, were a little more knew what the Enchanteds were going to do, so you didn't see that rise. It starts off high, then the drop, and then comes back up. So it looks like she got around 250, 150 there for a bit, and then is back up to 260 right now, which is a good for her. And then you can see Pete just has like, he's having a gradual rise from that bottom there when he got to around a 65. So good for Pete making his way back up. But as you can see here, like, but what are the top cards? Like in both the first chapter and Rise of the Floodborn, what are the top cards? It looks like people are more interested in kind of the female, the princesses, the queens, the Snow Whites, the Alices, the Cinderellas are usually the top cards. Same thing with Elsa. You know, Stitch is pretty high up there, so he's kind of throws a wrench in there. And then you have Belle and Tinkerbell in the top 4. But Aurora's down there, but just not as popular. And I think the Aurora not being as popular might have something to do with her being included in that starter deck. And so there's just a lot of Auroras to go around. But that Elsa, you know, Belle, Tinkerbell kind of fits into that theory of like we're looking for the female princess characters as being kind of the top cards. The same thing with this, with the Rise of the Floodborn, Cinderella, Snow White, Alice being the top cards, and then everybody else kind of falling below. I don't really see a princess card below, at least Aurora taking the 6th spot. Is probably the lowest princess female character that I'm seeing. So looking at these cards, though, so for Into the Inklands, what do we have? Because there's kind of a lack of princesses. There's a lack of queens, because Elsa is a queen. She's not a princess. But we do have some villains here. So I think Into the Inklands is really going to be pushing the villains. And then also bringing out land cards and item cards for the set is going to be interesting. How are enchanted lands and items are going to be taken? So I think, looking at here, each ink is getting 3 enchanted cards. So we have Chernobog, Kita, and Pride Lands. And then we have Jafar, Maleficent, and the Sorcerer's Hat. Cusco, Morph, and Ursula. Captain Hook, Peter Pan, and the RLS Legacy from Treasure Planet, right? Belle's House, Grandma Tala, Scrooge McDuck. And then Along Came Zeus, Mickey Mouse, and Robin Hood. So those are all the ones we have, and it looks like each ink has either a land or an item or a song, one of those, and then 2 characters. Now, going through these, like, which characters are going to be the top, though? Which one is going to be the top? I just from going off popularity and who's the top, I mean, the villains here, I think, and it is, if this Jafar card comes out being as good as it actually check out this Jafar. So he has shift 5, he has evasive, you got to pay 7 to get him, but he's a 4/5, and then during your turn, while this character is exerted, whenever you draw a card, gain 1 lore. So the big thing everybody's thinking about this card is that if you use it with a whole new world, it'll draw you 7 cards. So you get 7 ink immediately after playing this card and exerting it. So just have to keep him alive, but he's got evasive too, which is really good. He's got shift and evasive. He only has that 1 ink for himself, but if you exert him, attack someone or something like that, if you're somehow able to give him rush and get him exerted immediately, then play a whole new world, you're going to be getting 7 ink immediately. So that card could be the top card to get, but that's on playability. I feel like Maleficent, though, getting an enchanted card, whenever this character quests, you may draw a card, which is cool. During your turn, whenever you draw a card, you may remove 1 damage counter from chosen character to chosen opposing character, which is awesome. So Maleficent, just as a character in itself, she's supremely popular. And, you know, I don't feel like enchanted cards are just set on how good the card is. It's kind of like how popular the card is, how cool the card is. And Maleficent is so cool. But her art here, it's just regular Maleficent art. It doesn't stand out as much as that Jafar art. I kind of like the art for Jafar a little bit more, and him being super powerful. Also, Chernobog is a huge villain. And for people who love villains, Chernobog is old school, classic. People love Chernobog, but I don't think he's going to be over Jafar or Maleficent. The other characters, though, Ursula, she's popular, she's cool, but do people like Ursula more than Maleficent? I don't think so. Captain Hook, for someone like me, I love Captain Hook. Captain Hook might be my top card, but for other people, probably not. So we don't have to put Captain Hook up there. I think he's probably going to be in the middle or, middle top, but he's not. And Peter Pan, I don't think Peter Pan's going to be up there. Scrooge McDuck is really cool. I also love that they're doing the new version of Scrooge McDuck here. The new cartoon is so cool. If you have not watched the new DuckTales cartoon, you should definitely check it out. David Tennant does the voice. He's the Doctor Who. He's one of the doctors. He's in Good Omens, and he does the voice of Scrooge McDuck. He's an amazing actor, and I've already heard someone who's like, I'm getting that Scrooge McDuck Enchanted card, and I'm having David Tennant sign it. If you do that, that card's going to be, and then I would get that shit graded. That's going to be awesome. So having Scrooge McDuck there is a huge plus. And then for the other ones, for Steel, Robin Hood is really cool, but that art is kind of bland. And same thing with Mickey Mouse. And then the song for Along Came Zeus is just I don't see it being there. So my top three, if I got to pick them, is I see Jafar or Maleficent being number one, and then Ursula coming in at number three, and then probably Captain Hook, or probably Scrooge McDuck after that, and then Captain Hook. And then I think those are going to be the top cards, would be my thought here. Chernabog's a wild card. Depends on how many villain lovers are playing Lorcana right now, because Chernabog could be a huge catch for people who love villains. So right now we can look on eBay and just see what everybody is trying to sell these cards for. So it looks like Maleficent's up at 900. We have Ursula 500. But these are people are just trying to throw out what they think they're worth. It's not necessarily that these are the prices that people are going to be purchasing these items for. So even though it says it's for 500, it doesn't matter until someone actually buys it for 500. So you can see Kita is around 400. I feel like the items are going to be on the lower side. You have Captain Hook around 400. It looks like most people are trying to get their cards out for about $400. Just every single card. It's like, will you give me $400 for this enchanted card? It's like the cost of almost a case. Is the thought here. And then when we look at what's sold so far, only a few items are sold. Yesterday there were no sold items. Today there's it looks like Kita has sold for 450. Robin Hood has sold for 450. Scrooge, we don't get to see exactly, but he sold for less than 325. And then a discard card from Into the Inklands is sold for 100. So if you pull one of those discard cards, that's some good money there too. So it's cool. I would, as things pan out and we actually get to see what the actual prices are, I would be looking for those top cards. Definitely that Maleficent, and then definitely the Jafar is probably the top two. Would be my thought. Let me know in the comments though if you think any different. If you have any other opinions there, any thoughts on it, let me know. And then so that's it when it comes to the Enchanteds. How I see it playing out with the top cards there. Obviously, this is kind of. I probably should have stated this earlier. If you're new to trading cards games, and it seems like there's a lot of new Lorcana people here for trading card games, is that usually you want to wait. And, there are instances, but very few instances where something will rise after a release like this. But usually there is the product will hit the market, the cards will hit the market, and then the prices will drop. So you want to give it a little time to see where the market settles. You don't want to just jump in immediately trying to get the cards because you have FOMO, the fear of missing out. You don't want to have that. You want to wait until the market settles a little bit and you get a better price. So don't just go in here and jump in just because you want to get because you're scared that you might miss out. Don't do that. And then we've also been hearing just from what I've been seeing online and what I've been hearing online that there's plenty of this product to go around. It's going to be more like Rise of the Floodborn. It's not going to be like the original initial first chapter where it was severely underprinted. This was probably overly printed. So we should continue to see these boxes around the 120s. We should continue to see the cost of these drop. I would imagine that we see a lot of these Enchanteds get below 100, and then the top card is probably going to be around 200. I would look towards the Rise of the Floodborn, for the prices on these enchanteds, I would not be looking at the first chapter. The first chapter is special, and the first chapter is going to be acting differently than every other set after this. And depending on how much product is released into the market, and there's a way more enchanteds, which actually could, depending on the pull rates here, there's just a lot of unknown factors here. So jumping in on these cards and paying $500 for a card right now, I would highly suggest that you don't do that, okay? I would wait till like I said, the market settles. Anyways, that's the majority of everything. I also just wanted to point out here, because everyone's talking about it too, just one last thing here, is that there has been a spoiler for a product. This is the new dual deck, apparently, that's going to be coming out between sets 4 and 5, and this is just an introductory deck, like a dual deck, like any of the, if you know what a dual deck is. Here's one from Flesh and Blood, and here's the Magic one. If I can get it down, it's stuck there, so forget it. But this is like a dual deck. You get basically 2 characters battle it out, so it's 2 decks that you can play automatically between each other. And this is Lorcana's version of that, and so we should expect to see it after the next set. So pretty cool. That's it on Lorcana. I hope you get some Into the Inklands. It's out there, ready to get. I know it's going to be more widely available tomorrow, but there should be, and probably most likely is, and we've definitely seen it online, some product out there today. So if you can go out there and find it today, that would be great for you. For me, I might do a quick look here and there, but I'm not going to be jumping around like I have for the other 2 sets that have come out. Besides that, I think that's it. I want to say thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my patrons. Thank you for just watching this. I really appreciate. And I do want to say, if you are a viewer and you're not subscribed, I could appreciate any help to get my channel up to 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to subscribe, that would be awesome. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you very much if you do subscribe. Anyways, that's it for me. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you later. Okay? Bye-bye.
Governor Jesse Ventura, to send you, Devin, a little bit of a message, my friend. You need to quit slacking. You, I heard lately, have been skipping your workouts. What's going on, my man? You want to turn into a little fat porker?